Mr. Dowswell, before you leave. And addressing your comments, Mayor Batchelor, the sign ordinance that we were given in our agenda packet does not include 12.20.04, 05, or 06, which regulates what signs can or can't be in agricultural, residential, commercial, professional, office, and planned mixed-use districts, and also 12.20.07, which is science and industrial districts.
We did not give you the whole ordinance.
Right.
We gave you the portions that were to address the issues that are in front of you.
And the reason I bring that up to Mayor Batchelor is because you and I, Mr. Delswell, have had conversations on this, and you told me that because the sign ordinance for 12.20.05 signs in residential districts does not allow certain types of signs there, you cannot place those signs there.
Correct.
And that they can be removed. It specifically says what type of signs can be in a residential district. And a lot of these type of signs can't be put there. And that's why even if somebody took the California waterfowl sign and put it on private property, because it's not defined in the residential district as being allowed, and whether you consider it agricultural or residential, on Mr. Azevedo's property, you could make the argument that therefore you're allowed to go out there and remove the sign. And I'm simply saying that we need to redefine this. As Mr. Dowswell said, he has very little to work with. I'm simply saying that we need to refine this quite a bit further before it's going to be acceptable. And I think that, you know, the main drive, as Mr. Besnay said, is to give small business owners not more restrictions, but more latitude as to their advertising, without at the same time cluttering up the entire downtown with portable signs, A-frame signs, whatever. So I think that's where we're at on this.
Councilwoman Kaler, do you have comments?
Okay, a couple of thoughts. Perhaps the $30 fee, which I understand is a review fee, we might say all signs over a certain size would be a way to still cover the cost of review, but not use that for some of the smaller signs. That's just an idea. And as to mobile signs, if you've ever been in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, you see just how much can be done with a mobile sign. They can be electrified. They have flashing lights and blinking arrows, and they may congratulate a couple getting married, they may congratulate the graduates, they may talk about a prom, they may advertise the dancing girls. And New Year's, they're going to sell black-eyed peas and collard greens. And they're on mobile signs all over town. And they are electrified. And those of us who've lived in Fort Walton Beach would probably put all of those signs real high on the list of things we do not miss. So I can tell you there can be what feels like no end to the possibility of mobile signs. So, you know, I would say we are nipping this thing in the bud before it gets out of hand, because believe me, it can get grossly out of hand.
Can I ask you a question? Did Fort
Am I going
Walton...
back to Fort Walton? No.
No. Did Fort Walton Beach regulate those signs? Are they still allowed?
They are still, well, I plan to be there in May, and I'll let you know. When I was there 2 years ago, they were still allowed.
Well, evidently, they didn't think it was a problem then.
Well, we're getting off the subject here,
But,
so.
you know, I know that they
What
can
happens in
have-
Fort
just saying,
Walton
we're-
happens in Fort Walton, and we're here in
But
Dixon,
I
so.
want to say they
Right.
can be
I understand your
electrified.
point. I understand your point.
We need to stop